The desire to live forever is as old as humanity itself, echoing through myths, legends, and now the ambitions of modern science. From Gilgamesh's quest for immortality to Silicon Valley's investments in anti-aging technology, the dream of cheating death persists. Life's brevity makes its beauty and love feel all the more precious, yet the thought of it ending fills us with dread. The promise of immortality tempts us with limitless time to learn, create, and explore, free from the shadow of loss. But this pursuit is not just scientific, it's deeply philosophical, forcing us to question what it means to be human. Before we rush toward a future without death, we must consider the consequences of disrupting nature's cycles. The dream of forever may hide a nightmare we're not prepared to face. Imagine a world where death is optional, where science has conquered aging and people can live for centuries in perfect health. The initial reaction would be jubilation. Families united across generations, geniuses refining their crafts for centuries, and the fear of loss erased. Life would slow down, urgency would fade, replaced by patience and endless opportunity. Careers and education would become lifelong journeys, and the anxiety of mortality would vanish. Yet, as decades pass, the thrill of endless time could give way to monotony. The rhythm of life would change, and the world would fill with people who have seen and done it all. The euphoria of immortality might slowly dissolve into a quiet, creeping sense of emptiness. What happens when every story has been told, and every dream fulfilled? The cracks in the immortal utopia would appear gradually, not as disasters but as subtle, growing problems. Without death, population would soar, straining finite resources, food, water, land, energy, beyond their limits. Scarcity would replace abundance, and the world would become crowded and constrained. More insidious, though, would be social stagnation, the same people, ideas, and prejudices persisting for centuries. The energy of youth and the drive for change would fade, replaced by a static, unchanging society. In seeking to preserve life, we might suffocate its very essence, renewal and adaptation. The world would grow old, not in decay, but in sameness, and the promise of endless vitality would wither. Immortality's greatest paradox, in trying to save life, we risk draining it of meaning. Overpopulation would become relentless, devouring wilderness and personal space, turning the planet into a crowded prison. Resources would be stretched to the breaking point, and the struggle for basics like water and air would define daily life. Childhood and youth would vanish, replaced by a society dominated by the ancient. With new births restricted, the world would lose its engine of renewal, fresh ideas and cultural shifts would atrophy. Progress would grind to a halt, and the arts, sciences, and politics would freeze under the weight of centuries-old incumbents. The world would become deeply conservative, endlessly repeating the patterns of the past. The dream of eternal life would reveal itself as a reality of eternal stagnation. Humanity would be trapped in its own history, unable to move forward. Immortality would shatter the foundations of our economy built on growth and generational change. With no one retiring, jobs would be locked for centuries, ambitions stifled and opportunity lost. Wealth and power would concentrate among those who achieved immortality, first creating an unbridgeable chasm between elite and underclass. Scarcity would define existence, with essentials like food and shelter tightly controlled by the powerful. Innovation would stall. Why risk change when your position is secure for eternity? The economy would become brittle, focused on preservation, not progress. The dream of pursuing passions would be a cruel joke for most whose lives would be consumed by survival. The immortal world would be one of managed decline and deepening inequality. The psychological toll of immortality may be the most devastating of all. Our minds aren't built for endless memory. Centuries of experience would blur together, erasing the meaning of cherished moments. Grief would become constant, as immortals watch loved ones choose death or fall to tragedy, leaving scars that never heal. The drive for purpose, fueled by life's brevity, would evaporate. Urgency and ambition replaced by endless procrastination. Achievements would lose significance in an infinite timeline, and existential boredom would set in. After experiencing everything countless times, novelty would vanish and life would become monotonous. The immortal soul might face not pain but exhaustion, a weariness with no escape except the very death once feared. In seeking to escape loss, we risk losing meaning itself. The ultimate horror of eternal life may be a profound, unending emptiness. Eternal life challenges our deepest philosophies. Does meaning survive when time is infinite? The beauty of a moment, the urgency of love, and the drive to create are all heightened by their fleeting nature. Immortality threatens to dilute these experiences, making even the most profound joys routine. Our ambitions are fueled by the desire to leave a mark before we're gone. Without an end, that drive fades. Identity itself would blur. After centuries, who are we really? The narrative arc of life would vanish, replaced by endless repetition and loss of self. In trying to hold on to life forever, we risk destroying what gives it value. Death, the very thing we fear, may be what gives life its depth and meaning. Death is not a flaw, but a vital part of life's renewal. In nature, the end of one life creates space and nourishment for the next. The same is true for human society. Generational turnover drives progress, challenges old ideas, and brings new solutions. Mortality ensures society evolves, preventing stagnation and fostering innovation. On a personal level, knowing our time is limited gives urgency and meaning to our choices. Without death, the tapestry of life unravels into endless, shapeless time. Mortality is the engine of evolution, social progress, and personal purpose. The final goodbye is what makes every hello precious. The dream of immortality reveals itself as a paradox. Escaping death may rob life of its beauty, purpose, and meaning. A world without death could become stagnant and empty, a dystopia of endless repetition. True wisdom may lie in embracing our mortality, finding meaning in the fleeting present. Our limited time encourages us to love deeply, learn passionately, and cherish every moment. Advances in medicine should extend life's quality, not deny its natural end. The challenge is to live fully within our boundaries, filling our time with joy and kindness. Perhaps the greatest gift is not endless life, but being truly alive for the time we have. Mortality frames our existence, giving it form, focus, and incomparable value.